I just, I don't know what to look up, I guess, in terms of like moms groups, or because Camille's my coach and she and I are in the same group, and I don't want to step on her toes by taking coaches or taking potentials that she's already invested her time with. So where do I go?
Okay, that's awesome. Those are great questions and normal questions to have. So we're just going to kind of get everybody to chat, whoever wants to, and then we're going to run through these things all at once. So anyone else want to share? Josie, you'll just have to unmute yourself.
Hi, so I'm Jose. I joined, I'm doing my 34th day, I think, right now on 80 days challenge. I decided to join as a coach because it actually works super well for me. And then everything that Beachbody is doing, I see that it's working. I've done a lot of workout. I'm in the military, so I know about workout, and we do a lot of workout, but never that was actually targeting what I wanted to do. I was also like a big no on shakes, and I actually tried the Shakeology. I did thousands, millions of research on like every shakes possible, and I ended up with Shakeology because I'm like, okay, it sounds like a good one, and it is actually a good one because I noticed the difference. I actually did my first post today as a coach on social media because I was so stressed and scared I think it's the fear of failing that I have right now. And I did my first post today, and I'm already chatting with 2 people right now that are like, oh, I'm super interested. What do you have to offer? But then I'm like, okay, how do I start this? Like, how do I need to know more about them to see what are their goals and everything. But again, like, how do I approach it? Like, how do I sell that it's I know it is valuable because I'm doing it. And I don't want to be too much so I scare them. But then again, I want to be enough that they will want to do it. And the other thing is that one of the lady that I have right now on the chat, it's tricky for me because she's actually injured and she's having like a pinched sciatic nerve. So there's stuff that she probably cannot do. And another thing is that I want to guide her in the direct way so she will not get hurt more by doing these programs. So I want to make sure that she's doing what she can do also, right? Because I don't want her to come back and be like, oh no, you made me worse than I was, right? So that's one thing I don't want to either. But yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Those are all great points. And I'm sure lots of people will want to hear the answers to that stuff. So anybody else?
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we sure can.
Okay, I'm actually in the same group that Lissa was in with Camille, and we started in December, and I think we just missed the last coach call by like a day or 2. I think I remember hearing about it, but I don't know. I feel like the hardest thing over here is like just it's my own fault, quite honestly. I'm trying to figure out how to make connections and like keep going with building relationships. And I know it's all my fault, and I keep blaming it on having 2 little ones, but I'm having trouble like prioritizing my time because there are heavy. Okay. There are heavy seasons where it's like it'll pick and then it'll like trickle down to nothing, and then it'll go back to super heavy, and I don't know exactly why I'm having that kind of flow where it's like either a ton of people and lots of conversations I can't keep track of, or it's a whole lot of nothing and I'm sitting twiddling my thumbs trying to figure out what to do next. So that's more my thing, I feel like. And I mean, I also with Lissa, because she was saying that she was in the same group that Camille's in. I'm also in that group. It's a Baby Wise community. So in general, Lissa, I tend to just avoid a lot of the people in the group. And, if I talk to them, that might be different. But I'm in another one because I have another little baby, obviously. That's not two. So I kind of reach out to the members there and get to know them. I'm in like yard sale groups and different things. So I find people, but it's like I don't know how to kind of space it out. And I don't really grasp yet the how, because sometimes you hear people saying that they set it up so in the beginning of the month they talk to people to get to Success Club, and then the middle of the month they focus more on their challengers and getting them to consider being coaches, and then at the end of the month they talk about maybe being going after people that want to sign up fresh for the new month. I think I'm getting that wrong, but does that make sense? Okay, so that's more, I'm just kind of confused on those types of things.
Okay. All right. We will get to that too. I think what you're saying is time management you're having a little trouble with, and you're just kind of maybe foggy on what we should be inviting to. Am I reading you right?
Yeah, that, and just like trying to understand ranking. I don't understand the ranking. I got my husband to sign up like 2 days ago, so I'm at Emerald. And I got that going, and I'm seeing a little momentum. I actually told him, I was like, listen, I'm going to sign you up and pay for you out of the commission I've gotten already. So he's like, well, all right, that makes sense. And my in-laws are on board with Shakeology. They tend to like that. So it worked out, but I don't really understand, placement and how commission works with team volume. I understand, I understand commission. That's not hard. But I don't understand like the intricacies very well.
Right. Well, one thing I can tell you is we're not going to cover that tonight. Because here's my deal. When you're a new coach, you only need to know what you need to know right now. Okay. So once you get to getting to the place of earning team cycle bonus and getting to that point, that's when that becomes really valuable information. But right now, to kind of cloud you with all of that just becomes super confusing. There's so much information we could throw at you right at the beginning, and we would lose probably 90% of you because it's just too much. You've done awesome. Like getting to Emerald already is amazing. And what you need to know now is, okay, how can I find people to help and first help them, and then hopefully they'll join your team. Okay, so it really kind of goes in stages. So what I have found, because when I joined as a coach, everything was thrown at me in a book like this. And I didn't know where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do first. So we try and break it down and have it really, really simplified for you guys so that your first steps are the step that's going to lead you into the next one. But right now you're here. So that's what we really want to talk about tonight. But in saying that, Farron, if you are really interested in learning about Team Cycle Bonus, all you need to do is go to the FAQ in the Coach Online office or YouTube. And you will be able to spend about 5 days learning about Team Cycle Bonus, and you'll get all the information you ever dreamed of and more. So if that's something that's really interesting to you, because I know it is for some people, like how can I make this income? That's where you need to go. Okay. Anybody else want to share? We'll take maybe a couple more if anybody else wants to.
I will.
Shelby. Shelby, just wait. I want to see if any new coaches.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Any
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never done this Zoom before, so
Well, you're doing perfect so far.
I'm Renee. I am brand new to coaching. I don't have anyone under me yet. I just started my 21-day fix today. That was kind of killer, but I'm going to stick with it. I have good feelings about it. I guess I don't really have any questions. I just kind of wanted to get out there and introduce myself. And I did have the question somebody else had already asked about where to kind of look to meet people, because I don't want to just invite everybody to my new Beachbody page, because I don't want to bombard them with, everybody does it. I don't want to just invite them without them knowing. But I don't, and I'm also in the same mom group as Farron, so I don't want to step on her toes. So I'm not going to go there. That's also my question. That'd be my only concern.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, and welcome, and good luck on day 2.
Thank you.
I actually have another question if it's okay. So I know that you guys have talked about posting. You don't want to mention Shakeology, you don't want to mention like the workout program. So what other type of, like, I know what I've been posting, like it's all been about me and my journey and this, that, and the other thing. But then when do you kind of transition into like, you know, this super nutrient shake is really great, and then I feel like you kind of have to say, well, I'm drinking this stuff called Shakeology, and then once you say the word or Beachbody or 21 Day Fix, because those are the big ones, everybody's like, oh crap, you know what, never mind. So like, what other, like, is it okay to post about Shakeology stuff? Or, because we don't want to necessarily be salespeople, we want to be us with the side of sales. So I'm just kind of.
I'm going to let you take this one, Megan.
Yeah, I mean,
I love your posts, but I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do.
yeah, so if you follow the majority of us, you'll see that we do post about Shakeology on a regular basis. We post about our workouts every single day. And no, we never call it what it is, because as soon as you do say those words, a couple things can happen. You're going to lose a ton of people following you, because all of a sudden they're like, oh, she's selling me something. Got it. Or they're going to be interested, but they're going to go to Google, Amazon, wherever, the Beachbody website, and they're going to look it up themselves. Maybe they're even going to look it up, see the price, and be like, oh my God, that's ludicrous. I'm not paying that, and stop following you. Or they're going to order it themselves, and they're never going to have that conversation with you. So that's kind of like the two options that can happen when you do start name dropping. So what you do is you create curiosity. You talk about your superfoods shake, or your mom fuel, or your craving buster, or you know, your, like, whatever you want to call it, your chocolate fix for the day. That's, you start to use those types of terms. As far as I think what you're getting at is like, how do you eventually invite somebody? Is that what you're saying? Like hopefully every day you're talking about your workouts, you're talking about your food, you're maybe talking about portion control. I mean, I don't talk about Shakeology every single day, but in my Insta stories, I'm showing that stuff every single day for sure. But as far as just like my posting on social media, I'm not posting about Shakeology every day, but I am for sure once a week, a couple times a week, so that I'm constantly plugging it in. But I'm never saying like, this is Shakeology, who's interested? But I might talk about how, you know, as a new mom, this was my saving grace, that it was the only thing that I consistently knew my body was getting was this nutrient dense shake. I was surviving off of coffee and goldfish and ice cream, but once a day I was having this shake that made me feel so darn good. And then maybe I would ask a question at the end, you know, is nutrition something you're struggling with as a new mom? Or do you have trouble getting in all of your nutrients and vitamins every day too? So that's how I start the conversation, and that's how I would get people interested in learning more about this shake. Because when you create a post like that, people are going to comment or message you and say, what is that you're drinking? Like everybody just all of a sudden wants to have that. So it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to new moms, or if you're talking to busy working moms or busy working people who never get a break in their day and don't have the time to be making food all day, whatever the case may be. So know who you're talking to and tell them what this has done for you, and maybe ask them a question. Does that make sense? Is that kind of like does that answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I follow you, so I do see a lot of your posts and that sort of stuff. And most of my posts are workout related and then meal prepping. I'm apparently the queen of meal prepping in my accountability group. But yeah, so I want to get more, like, I have actually tried Shakeology a couple of times, but I've never done it consistently every single day. And last week I missed 3 times in like a row, missed my shake. My time nutrition was just so off. And I could feel the difference. And I haven't made a post about that yet, and I need to. So, but I couldn't believe the difference in my days without taking it. So
yeah, so share that stuff. Like that stuff is what you want to be talking about. You don't have to call it Shakeology. You don't at all. It's not gonna. You can still get that value across, and that's going to be what people are interested in. That's creating some serious curiosity, because now everybody's going to want to know, well, what is this shake that she missed a few days that left her feeling like garbage? Like, I want that because I feel like garbage, right?
Okay. I just have to figure out words. I'm not a good word writer. So.
And no one is at first. Like,
yeah.
I was not. None of us were creating these epic posts from day one. We weren't. I've been doing it for 3 years now. So I've definitely gotten better. Michelle's been doing it for like 4 years. She's definitely gotten better. Like, if you did see some of our posts in the beginning, they were awful. Like, they sucked. Mine did anyways. I know they did. So it's like, you have to give yourself some grace and don't compare. Like, if looking at my posts or Michelle's posts leave you feeling like not inspired or kind of like, oh crap, I don't know what to write now, then don't look at our posts.
Yeah.
Because it can get you stuck. Like, I do that to myself. If I look at top coaches' posts, I'm like, oh my God, they did that so well. And then I go to write a post and I'm like, oh, it's not going to sound anywhere as good as that. And I shouldn't even do that. Like, that's not where I'm at. You are where you're at. And the people who are following you, they're not following me. They're not following Melanie Mitchell. Like, they don't know. They're not comparing you to anything. So just be totally real. And what you just said about that Shakeology post, write that. That's what you're feeling. That's genuine. That's like what is happening. Write that.
When I go to write a post, I just say to myself, what am I feeling right now? Like, what am I doing and what am I feeling? I know that I want to share Beachbody. Like, that's my life. It's a huge part of my life. It's my workout. It's my nutrition. Like, especially right now for us doing 80-day obsession, we're like, it's taking a lot of our life, right? So it's easy after my workout. Okay, how do I feel right now? Like, I took a picture of myself and how am I feeling? Well, this morning I felt excited. It was day 51 and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm at day 51 and I haven't cheated. Like, if you just share how you're feeling and don't overthink it. I will tell you, I do not look at many coaches' posts because I can compare posts 4 years later. I can sit and spin that my posts aren't as good as other people's, and it gets you nowhere. The only thing that often happens is you end up copying, and then you don't sound like yourself. It just sounds sort of ridiculous. So you need to sit down and say, like, write those ideas that you have in your head and just let it flow like you're talking. You do not have to be perfect. No one is checking, like, that you've got a perfect paragraph. Like, just share how you're feeling, and that is going to resonate way more with your followers than trying to have this perfect motivating post that's epic. Like, don't do it. Been there, done that. It actually will get you people following you that are nothing like you. You won't even want to talk to them. What you guys all want to do is find people that really relate to you. They're not going to relate to me, and that's why you don't want to take my post and put it on your page, because that makes no sense, because you are not me and I am not you, and our people are never going to be the same. But if you're truthful and honest and just literally share your day, Share how you're feeling. And as you coach for longer and longer, you should have more positive, inspiring, motivating things to share if you are doing what we are supposed to do as coaches. And that is take care of you. So that's like feed your mind with positivity, with personal development. Be a product of our product, which is exercising and eating healthy. You are surrounded by the most amazing community of women that support you at every turn. That is amazing. Women are looking for that in their lives every day, and we have it. So as you get into this culture, you'll have so many inspiring and motivating posts because you're going to start to feel better and better and better every single day. And honestly, that's truthfully how we write our posts. We sit and think, okay, well, what's going on today? And how do I feel about it? And just share the truth. And then you will attract people that are like you.
And oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Didn't mean to cut you off. As far as posting, there should never be a reason why you can't come up with a post. If you are reading personal development, which hopefully everybody on this call is reading, even a few pages of personal development or listening to something, you have a post. Because whatever personal development you're doing, if you're not able to craft a post out of what you read or listened to, even in 5 minutes, you're reading the wrong personal development. Because something should be clicking when you're reading it, and it should hit you, and you can make a post out of that. That's one post every single day. You should be working out. That's what we should be doing as coaches. There's another post. Talk about your workout, how it's making you feel, why you're doing it, any successes, why it was a struggle. Like, you can create a whole story about your workout. Your food. Everybody's eating. What are you eating? Take a picture of your food and talk about that. Talk about how that food's making you feel. How did you feel a month ago before you were a coach? What kind of foods were you eating then in comparison to now? There's a post. How are you feeling? How's your digestive system? Okay, and then work Shakeology in there every once in a while, what that's doing for you. So there's never any shortage of posts, and that's literally just our vital behaviors. What about your life? What's going on in your life? Are your kids sick, or your kids keeping you up all night? Is your boss being a jerk? I don't know what, just whatever's going on in your life. Is your husband driving you crazy? I see Terry on here. What's up, Terry? It's weird that he's on here, eh? But talk about what's going on in your life. Talk about your friends, whatever. Share you. It's a reality show of you. And then as like Michelle said, as you progress further in the business, as you bring on a few challengers and they start to have some success, your first challenger loses 5 pounds, you can talk about that. You get a message from somebody saying that, you helped them get up that morning and work out because of your inspiring posts. Talk about that. You're going to have so much stuff to talk about. I could literally make a post every single hour because there's so much coming at me now, 3 years into the business, right? You can make a post about this call. Hopefully everybody right now is taking a screenshot of this call, and you are doing a post about getting on a call on Tuesday night with however many brand new coaches, and how inspiring this community is, and how excited you are to join this community of women and make some amazing changes in your own life. You don't have to say you joined as a Team Beachbody coach, but you talk about what's going on right now. So hopefully that kind of helps with what to post and that sort of thing. And inspiration will come. It's not natural at first. It's very unnatural. For most people, it was for me, posting and pictures, totally unnatural. But now it isn't, because I've done it every day.
Yeah. And don't think that we don't still have moments like that too. Like there's some days that I'm like, God, I don't know. Like, do they really want to hear about my workout again? Like we all have those times, but honestly, if you're filling yourself up with the things that we just talked about, there's always stuff. At the end of the day, you can always take a quote from your personal development. Like sometimes I do that, anything like that. Okay. So let us maybe just go through this list. I mean, the biggest thing is where to find people. And that is, first of all, this whole mom group, that you're all in the same mom group. I will tell you, I've never been in a mom group. So obviously you can still find people without being in mom groups. But, maybe you do need to branch out and join some different groups and make some different connections. There's no shortage of people online. Like there's millions, and like literally millions of people. When I first started, my business built by people that I knew and then referrals. So in my opinion, if you are talking to the people that you know already, and as you're sharing your journey, they're going to see you. And maybe they're going to be interested, but they also all know other people. So it might not be that Susie, that's been your friend for 25 years, wants to do anything with you, but she may know someone. And I used to ask people, this might not be something for you, but do you think you know anyone that might want to do this with me? That's something that I was always really careful about as well. I didn't go about this as I was going to coach people. I went about it that people were going to join me. And I still do that to this day, because my journey never ends with weight loss. I am never the fittest. I am not a personal trainer. I am not a nutritionist. All I am is a girl who absolutely loves supporting and motivating other women. And I love having 25 of you doing it with me. So when I talk to people in a message, or I ask them to join me, I ask them to join me. Come and do this with me. I'm so excited right now. I am on day 51 of this program, and I think you are going to love it so much. I know that you have some of the same goals. If you're talking to friends and people that you know right now, that's how you should be talking. I just did day 1 of 21 Day Fix, and it was hard. I would love you to do this with me. Let's keep each other accountable. We can set up this group on Facebook, or we can join my coach's group. My coach is letting me bring some people into her group. Do you want to do this with me? That is still the same language that I use today. I have never changed, because people want to do stuff together. I think what happens sometimes is we become a coach, which is amazing, but we put on this really weird coach hat or salesperson hat. When someone talks to me about wanting to become a coach, there's 2 things they say to me. I don't want to be salesy, and I don't know. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't know. And we kind of get through that. They sign up, and then all of a sudden they're being salesy in messages, and they're saying words like, I can't close the deal and I can't close it out. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people to join us so we can do this together. And I promise you, if you are consistent with your social media, you're consistently just sharing what you are doing every day. You're doing your workouts. You're showing Shakeology a couple times a week. You're being positive. You're sharing uplifting quotes. That stuff is going to build trust with the people that are following you. It becomes contagious. It does not happen overnight. It absolutely doesn't. I want you all to know that 4 years later, I don't just wake up to a message box full of people wanting to do 80-day obsession with me. That is not the reality. I still message people and connect with people every single day. But what I do is I just get to know them. And the conversation just naturally flows because they're watching my social media, because they are friends on my Facebook page, or they are a member of my private group, or they watch my Insta stories. I always post with intention. Every single post that I put on social media has intention. It is meant to show people my lifestyle. And my lifestyle is a busy, working mom who exercises every day, who values healthy eating and values her supportive community of women. So that's what people are attracted to when they're watching my social media. So when we start chatting about the fact that she has a 6-year-old that likes whatever, pink unicorns, as we keep chatting, just like friends, she will ask me about what I'm doing. You know, if she's interested, she's going to ask me. I never, ever, ever push it. Ever. Does that make sense? It's the consistency of sharing your journey that is really going to get the momentum started in your business.
Yeah, it definitely starts with your social media. So if you've been at this for like even a couple weeks, really look at your social media. Have you been consistent? Are you posting every single day, a couple times a day at a minimum? Are you like offering value? Are you giving people a reason to follow you? Because if you are not doing those things, if you are not giving value, and that means like entertainment, that means positivity, motivation, tips on anything, not just like health and fitness, not just beach body stuff, but look at your social media and ask yourself, if I were to follow myself, would I keep following myself? Like, are you giving anybody a reason to want to follow you? Like, you really have to give yourself a bit of a gut check, and because that's where it starts. You cannot be making these connections with people if you're not putting it out there on social media. They have to be seeing what you're doing. That's where it starts, and then it moves into a private message because you're connecting with them. People are going to start to like your posts. They're going to start to comment on your posts, and you can connect with them. You can reach out to them. You can message them and just check in. You can thank them for liking your post, right? That's kind of a nice thing to do. If someone's supporting your posts, there's nothing wrong with you reaching out to them and just saying thanks. You know, I really appreciate it. I'm new to this, and it's always nerve-wracking putting myself out there, so I really appreciate your support. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? And you get a conversation going. This is relationship marketing. That's what we do. We are not selling Beachbody. We are in the market of relationship building. Because when you can build relationships with people, when you can really connect with people, what ends up happening is, if they don't know you already, they're going to start to know you. They're going to start to like you. They're going to start to trust you. And when all of those things click, they're just going to naturally want to do what you're doing. They are. They're not even really going to know exactly what it is you're doing, but because they really like you, they trust you, they almost kind of want to be like you. So they're going to want to do what you're doing. That's how it happens. So you have to be putting yourself out there on social media, and you have to be having private messages with people, not to sell them things, but to connect with them, to get to know them, to get to know, you know, what their struggles are, that sort of thing.
Yeah. One tip for me, if I feel like I need people, like I want more likes or more comments on my stuff, I give a recipe. That is the easiest way to get people to talk to. Honestly, like, find a recipe from the Mealtime Membership Club and share it. Make it and share it. Don't go and copy an image from Google and steal a recipe from someone else. Go into your kitchen and make supper or breakfast. Take a picture of it in a bright area, so it's a nice picture so they can see what it is. And don't give the recipe in your post. Just talk about the recipe. Talk about why you liked it. Talk about how your kid liked it or didn't like it, whatever you want to talk about. And then say at the bottom, if you would like this recipe, just drop an emoji below or like this post. Honestly, when I do that, it's like tons of people. So, and maybe if you're just starting, it gives you 5 people to talk to. Wouldn't that be amazing? Just 5 people to say, thank you so much for commenting on my post. This recipe was awesome. Here it is. If you're interested in other free recipes, you should join our private community, our mealtime membership community, where I can actually give you a couple meal plans. You know, like that's how this grows. And then that person is going to tell her friend about the community. Or that person is going to say, oh my gosh, you need to go follow Jennifer because she just shared the best crock pot chicken recipe and she shares recipes all the time. And that's how it grows. If you can think of this business as a little tiny snowball right now, and as you keep doing things like that, it's going to grow and grow and grow. And that's what happens to your customer base, the amount of people you can talk to every single day. That's how it grows. If you haven't read The Compound Effect, it should go on your list of books to read because it literally shares exactly how this business grows. It starts small. It feels like you're never going to have anyone to talk to. But as you consistently share what you're doing, it 100% grows. You're muted, Megan, but it sounds good, whatever it is.
But unfortunately, what sometimes happens is people in the early days of coaching, they get frustrated. They get frustrated by like, well, no one's interested. No one's commenting on my posts. Everybody already has a Beachbody coach. There's too many coaches in my area. Like people start to use those excuses. So then they stop posting consistently and they just sort of fade out of this and they don't do it anymore. And they say it didn't work for me. Well, the only reason why it doesn't work is because you don't have the belief that it's going to work. You don't do the simple necessary things that we have to do to make it work. And you don't quit. Like that's why Michelle and I are still here, is because we didn't quit. Like we never quit. We never ever quit. And that's why we're still here. And if you don't quit, and if you do those vital behaviors, those simple things, the posting, the connecting, the private messaging, stay true to your own journey first, you won't fail. You can't fail at this. Okay, so the really important things is your own journey. Okay, you are on your own health and fitness journey right now, whether that's day 1 or day 50 or day 365. You're on your own journey. You need to be sharing that every single day. Share it every single day. Connect with people on social media every single day. Find new people to talk to every single day. And there are different ways to find those people. Like you've heard a few people mention groups, and some of you might not even know what they're talking about, but these are like mom groups, or you can be in, like, I'm sure you guys are in groups and you might not even know it. Like there's all those different groups on Facebook. So like mom groups and travel groups and dog groups and like yard sale groups, all those types of groups. So that's a way that a lot of people have built relationships. Camille's on this call and she has the majority of her coaches and challengers have all come from these groups that she was in even before she was a coach. So she was in a bunch of like mom groups and breastfeeding groups. And so she was able to build connections with women in these groups that she didn't know personally, but just from in these little communities that are on Facebook. So if you are in any of those Facebook communities, that's where you can be building relationships. Maybe you already have relationships built in those groups and you haven't even considered it. So that's a way to sort of start connecting with people. But honestly, there is no shortage of people, like Michelle said. And you know what I did when I realized really quickly in my business, probably in the very first month, I knew right away, I'm going to run out of people to talk to. If the people that are watching me right now on social media, they haven't joined me, they may never join me. So what am I going to do? I need to find more people. And you all need to start finding new people right away. You constantly need to be having new conversations, adding to your network, expanding your network from what it is now, or you're going to run into a dead end. And when that happens, your whole business is going to stall out. So you need to be constantly finding new ways to connect with people and find new people. So what I did is I went to YouTube and I typed in how to build my market, how to expand my Facebook friends, how to find new people, Beachbody coaching. Like I seriously plugged those words into YouTube every single day when my kids were napping, and I listened to call after call after call. And I found some really creative, strategic ways on how to find new people. I have a call. If you guys go to, like, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and Michelle's YouTube channel, because we have done calls on this kind of stuff. I did a full call on how to expand your network. I think in the summer I did it. But watch all of our old calls, because we give so much valuable information in there. And we obviously can't share it all tonight with you guys, but it's all there. Or just go to YouTube and search that. Instead of just saying to yourself, well, I have no one to talk to, no one's interested. There's a solution to that problem. Go to YouTube. It sounds kind of harsh, but it's the truth, because we really can't teach you guys everything on this call, but you can start every single day listening to something that's going to move you forward in this business. And the people who do that are going to see huge growth, and you're going to be the one that sees success. Whereas the person who doesn't do that, who's not that, driven minded, you're going to stall out, unfortunately.
Oh, she just got tough.
Sorry. Wow.
Okay. And it's true. I mean, as kind of harsh as maybe that feels right now, that's kind of how we've done it. Like the leaders on our team, we've just sort of figured it out. We are here to 100% support you. The thing is, it's just like school, right? If you don't kind of do it on your own, you don't retain it, right? So I could seriously sit here and list out 10 different ways for you to find new people, and only one of you would really be listening to me. Maybe a couple of you would write it down, and like half of you would actually go and do it. So if you kind of figure out your way yourself, you're just going to be more successful. Like we've given you tips. The first place to go is your friends list. Then ask for referrals. Then join groups, hashtags. Like there's so many different ways. It would take me half an hour. There's so many people. And if in your head you are using the excuse that there are too many Beachbody coaches, I just want to tell you that every single one of my leaders lives within 20 minutes of me. And I have a really booming team. So Megan we literally live 7 minutes from each other. Our parents have been close friends our whole life. We friggin' share relatives, for God's sakes. And we are as successful as each other. So do not let that into your head, because there's thousands of Beachbody coaches, thousands, 400,000 actually. There's not very many successful ones. I'm on a board with the top of the company, and there's only 550 of us in that board out of 400,000. So don't ever let that stand in your way, because that's just you playing games with yourself. Okay, I did want to just touch on fear. Totally normal, 100%. We've all been there. There's still days that I'm there. What I want you to remember is what is on the other side of fear. And it's like what I've been able to create, what Megan has been able to create. Yeah, those first few
Sorry.
scary. I know, they are really scary, aren't they? He's agreeing with me. But when you get your first message from someone and they tell you that you inspired them, that will make you do the next one. And when you get your first paycheck that pays for your kids' diapers or your family vacation or whatever it is that you have on your goal board, whatever you've written down, why you're doing this, it is going to be so worth it. Trust me, we all were scared when we started. We all had fear over this. But I can tell you, it was so worth it. I cringe to think if I hadn't said yes to this and I hadn't posted that first picture and kept posting every single day when it was scary and when friends turned their back on me and when my parents didn't believe in me and my dad thought I joined a pyramid. It was scary. But I'm getting the last laugh now. It's so worth it. So worth it. Don't let that stand in your way.
I think what we should address, because I heard some people talk about some challenge groups and whatnot. And, if you're sort of been going at this for maybe a month or so, even less, but for sure, if you've been around here for longer than a month, you need to set a challenge group start date. That's super important, because if you don't actually have a date for a challenge group, there's really no urgency to fill it. So I really strongly recommend that all of you, figure out when you are going to run your very first challenge group. If you want to run it with your upline first, that's okay. But, I think even better is just to go out there and do it on your own. You're gonna learn how to do it. You're gonna be pushed to be out of your comfort zone and find people for that challenge group. And you know what that's gonna do? It's gonna make you start creating calls to action on your social media. And that's how you sort of get those people from just following you, being interested, to saying, oh, she actually has something that I can do. I didn't realize this, right? A lot of you are maybe posting about your journey and posting about all those things we talked about, but the people who are watching you, they don't even have a clue that you are offering something to them. They don't know that you're selling something or that you have something they can join until you say it loud and clear. Okay, so that's when you need to start creating calls to action. And you want to be doing this consistently. So, Sunday nights, I will always have a call to action. And usually a couple other times through the week, I have a call to action. And you need to start getting into that habit, because like I said, without those, you might not get people that are interested because they don't know what they should be interested in. Okay, so talk with your upline about maybe a great way to create a call to action. Look at some of ours, but I suggest you start doing that. If you are on Insta stories, do calls to action all the time. Use that poll feature. And, when you are doing some of your workout clips, do a quick poll at the end saying, are you interested in learning more about these workouts? Yes, or yes. Don't do no. You don't want anybody to click no. That's just dumb. You don't even want to know who those people are. Or do 100% and absolutely, or thought you'd never ask. Do some fun things like that, but do those polls every single day about your life. If you are talking about your healthy lunch, do a poll saying, do you need help with meal planning? Like those are conversations you can start having with people who respond to the poll. Or would receiving a meal plan every week help you and your family? We can offer that, right? So constantly do those polls. When you're talking about your Shakeology on your Insta stories, talk about how, you know, this shake gives you all the energy you need. Do you suffer from a lack of energy? People are going to respond to that poll, and you can reach out to them and talk to them. So do those polls all the time. Do calls to action. Set a start date for your challenge group. You know, your challenge group might only have a few people in it. Both mine and Michelle's, like when she started, she only had like 3 people, and they were her mom and her cousin and herself. I had like three or 4 people, and they were just moms from the school playground that I just had asked, like, do you guys want to do this with me? If I ran a fitness group, would you guys want to join me? That's seriously how it started for me. I just like, and I was like sweating, asking them on the playground. I was like, just do it. And I was like, hey, ladies. So if I created like an online fitness group, would you guys be interested? And they were like, yeah, that'd be amazing. So that's how it started for me. Okay. So you have to start. Your challenge group is going to be small when you start. It's not probably going to have a lot of interaction either, but don't let that stop you. And then the next month, get a few more people in there. And the next month, you get a few more people in there. And as those people start to see results, because you're running such an awesome group and because you are so supportive, they're going to start to get great results. They're going to start to feel good, and they're going to start to tell their friends. Their friends are going to start to notice things about them. And their friend is either going to want to become a coach and do what you're doing, or they're going to send them your way and say, oh, you know, message Carrie. I was in this challenge group with her last month and it was awesome. I lost 5 pounds. She's running another one next month. Do you want to do it? Okay, so that's how it happens. But if you're not running a challenge group, if you're not helping anybody, you're not going to get those referrals. You're not going to get the commission. You're not going to get those Success Club points. So definitely set a challenge group date.
And remember that, like, your challenge group can be filled with people that have past programs, or that you share Beachbody On Demand with them, and that's what they decide to go with at first. You don't have to put pressure on yourself that it has to be a challenge pack. Like, yes, challenge packs are amazing because it gives our whole system. And we know our whole system works the best. I hands down will tell you that people for 4 years have got the best results if they're doing Shakeology, they're doing the program, and they are active in my challenge groups. Those are my winners. Those are the people that lose the most weight. But that does not mean that I don't have people in my challenge groups who are just doing an old Turbo Fire workout that they have in their basement, or they bought Beachbody On Demand because that's all they wanted. That is okay. All are welcome. But you know what happens inside the challenge group? That's where you talk about why Shakeology is important, why the performance line is so awesome, and I could never do 80-day obsession without it. Like, that's where you share all that stuff and you encourage them along the way, and hopefully then they do decide to try the whole system. It's not a now or never. It's not a, well, you just buy this package or nothing. That's not what we're here for. We are here to help people no matter what. We meet them where they are. So if they're not where you are right now, that's okay. We still want to help them. My first challenge group, well, my first one was my mom and my cousin. That doesn't really count. The next one was, I betcha I had a dozen people that were doing old Beachbody programs. They didn't buy anything from me. Sometimes what I think happens when you join a team that has some successful leaders, we kind of forget about the years that the leaders took to build their businesses. You know, you see my income post, or you see Megan's income post, or you see someone has Success Club 25, and you start comparing with that. You look at that and you think, oh my gosh, that's what I need to do right now. We didn't get there in 1 month. Like, in the end of May, I'll be coaching 4 years. It took me a while, guys, to build this up. So enjoy the process. Honestly, I enjoyed the process so much. I became a better person. I became a better mom. I got to leave a job that I didn't like, but it all took time. It all took enjoying and honestly, finding the joy in this, being a challenger and getting results and helping people. That's what it was about. And if I had to ask most of you, that's probably one of the biggest reasons you wanted to do this. You really have a passion to help other people. So don't forget that in the search of success. Success will 100% come if you find the joy in this and just like follow the process. Because if you're looking too far ahead, you're just going to get really, really frustrated. You're going to see success if you follow these steps. Hands down, you will. Everyone that has followed the steps has seen success. Like, it's like no fail. The people that don't are the ones that have got frustrated and just fall off. Mic drop. Okay. Anybody else have any more questions? You're all just scared now. Like, ah.
This is like the best thing I have ever done. Like, it's fun. I find it fun most days. Like, pretty much every day I find the fun in this. And that is what keeps me going, is this fills me with so much. And it should do that to you too. Don't get discouraged by lack of engagement or like the lack of people right now. You're so new. Like, you can't expect there to be tons of people interested right now in what you have to offer if you just started. You can't. So have fun with it, enjoy it, fill yourself up, and just keep making yourself better and better and better. And that is going to be what attracts people to what you're doing.
And finding what you really like. I just want to end with this because Megan and I like opposite things. So Megan loves messaging people. Like, she loves chit-chatting and talking in Messenger all day. That is like the last thing I want to do. I really only like talking to people that like I find interesting and that I want to talk to. I don't like a lot of chitter chatter. I love creating posts and making images. And if you follow me, you know that, right? I love fancy fonts and finding colors and like all that stuff. The cool thing about this is there's so many different things that you can find that fill you up. Yeah, you have to do the vitals. I message people every single day. I do those vital behaviors. I do my power hour, that kind of stuff, because I have to. But what I really love about this business is it lets me still be super creative and crafting posts and taking a really great selfie and using filters with different apps. Like, that's what I love to do. Whereas Megan's the complete opposite. We always tease each other. If you could just do my messages, I'll do all your images. So there's something for everybody. You just have to find the thing that really lights you up. So if you're someone like me who loves creativity, I would get into stories, because that's where you can be so creative. And you can literally do your calls to actions and connect with people through stories. If you follow me, you know that's where I love to be right now, because it's so creative. And if you're not, if you really love, talking to people and hearing all about their lives, then that's when you want to connect with more people through Messenger. There's something for everyone in this, in my opinion. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay.
Did anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Well, we covered her all.
I think so. Okay. Well, you guys know that you can reach out to us anytime, obviously, with any questions, but go to the pinned post. That's the most important thing that you should get out of tonight. There's even like a social media calendar. So if you're having trouble, like, what am I supposed to be posting? We posted a calendar that you can follow. So it'll literally tell you, okay, Wednesday, post about Shakeology. Tuesday, post about my personal development. Thursday, post about my whatever. So there's a whole guideline until you get going. So go to that pin post if you still have any questions, or reach out to any of us. All right. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.